Welcome to Trento Vision, where bad ideas get pulverized and the truth will set you free. Trento Vision is hosted by Tom Trento. Tom can be reached at 561-319-5533 or Tom at TrentoVision.tv. Listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and TrentoVision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Well, if you guys think that Duff is just a beer on Homer Simpson's table, you're wrong, let me tell you. Because I could type a little something out, and then magically it goes to Duff. Duff's a human being here at the world headquarters of Beasley Broadcasting Company, BBC. Very similar to the one over in London. Duff is the magician who can take ink on paper and with a little bit of studio music, make a commercial out of it. We have a nice little spot. We thank you. Let's give Duff a hand. Thank you for putting that together rather quickly. And yes, it is an opportunity, as we said at the top of the last hour, for folks to participate in the powerful show that we have, 3 to 6 drive time every day, dealing with critical issues, but we do it with a little bit of chocolate chip cookie kind of stuff thrown in there. So we make it enjoyable. It's sort of edutainment. A little bit of education, a little bit of entertainment, and basically our view is we're going to have a conversation. We're going to let you into our conversation. You can watch that on TrentoVision.tv, or you can listen on WNN 1470, as you may be listening now driving your automobiles. And you can also listen on that little application on your iPhones, which I do when I'm in an area where I can't get the signal, iHeartRadio. And I'm magically going to make a human being go in front of the camera. And then, see how I can do that? I can levitate humans and move them back and forth. It's amazing what we can do here. But if we really had those powers, we'd go up to the warehouse in Palm Beach and help out with the synthesizing and allocating and validating the provisional ballots that are taking place right now with, let me see that. It's a crazy guy.
And any of our people who have some good on-the-ground reports from the campaign in St. Lucie County or in all the other Allen West...
in any of the Allen West districts, yeah.
Please go there and give us an update report on what's going on with the Allen West campaign. You might see something and you can be a nice...
stringer for us. You had something going on with the court. Tell them about that. Maybe we can get somebody over there.
Let's see. Yes, at 5 o'clock today at the courthouse in West Palm Beach, and the address is, where is it here?
205 Dixie Highway.
205 Dixie Highway in West Palm.
I've been there many times.
Yeah,
I know the address.
Actually, we have been there, yeah.
Yep.
We have, yeah. And that is being heard at 5 o'clock today.
So we need somebody who wants to go cover the courtroom event for Allen West. He's filed an injunction, and we don't quite understand what the injunction. An injunction usually forces the court to do something, probably not to declare a winner, because the word recount hasn't been used in the injunction.
I don't see it. No,
Okay.
I don't see it. No.
But we had our good friend Dave DiCrescenzo on the first hour, reporting live from the warehouse where all of this was taking place. And this is interesting, folks. Now, some of you may not think so. Like CJ, she didn't think it was too interesting to see a Costco warehouse and a bunch of people just standing there.
Okay, but I'm a girl,
Yeah,
okay?
Girl.
This is Florida. This is politics. This is the world, you know?
No, it's not like
Allen
it was
West.
stacked to the rafters with shoes or
Allen
anything like
West was being considered as the president, a presidential caliber candidate at some point.
And now he's fighting for his life.
He's fighting for his political life. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how did that happen? But we're going to get more reports tomorrow. The second hour, as we said, title of our show today is The Morning After the Morning After.
The afternoon after.
The afternoon.
After.
I have my glasses on. The afternoon after the morning after. Yesterday on TrentoVision.tv, double and WNN. The and is because you're hearing it over the radio, and we're simulcasting the video signal, so you can hear or you can listen. We're working on smell vision, so they can actually smell the studio. That's going to
No,
be
you
in
don't
a
wanna
couple
do
of
that.
No,
weeks.
you don't want to do that. That's
No,
good.
It'll be
you
in
don't wanna
a
do
couple.
that.
We want all these
No,
senses.
it's starting to
That's a
smell like a
very-
frat
that's a
house
very
around
bad
here.
idea.
We want to hit everybody's senses.
Just Mark's shoes.
Touch-o-vision. We're going to have touch-o-vision. And what's the fifth one? Oh, taste-o-vision.
Taste-o-vision.
We're going to have all the senses involved
Feel-o-vision and taste
in this experience.
Taste-o-vision, yeah.
Taste-o-vision.
Like in Willy Wonka.
No, like in double chip, chocolate chip,
Chocolate.
double cookie things.
Okay.
You know,
So
those
I
were
have to
actually
pi-
good,
They
and now we
were,
got-
and they were gluten free too.
Now we have horse feed here, and we had nice cookies yesterday.
Okay.
But that's okay.
I'll do better next time.
We're
Everybody likes
Stay
these
tuned
cookies.
tomorrow to see what CJ baked.
what you bake. That'll be good. But the afternoon after the morning after, we're doing more therapy today.
Yeah.
And we received some fascinating emails. We're going to go through some of them. We will redact the names to protect the guilty and the innocent. But what I'd like to do is I'm going to tell you where to go find a video. We typically play videos on Trento Vision here because you can see them because there's the vision part of Trento Vision. And we play videos that have an audio track that our listeners can understand. Well, the video we have for you, which is just a little over 2 minutes, accomplishes both of those purposes. You can see it and you can hear it. That's the problem. You're not allowed to listen to it on a broadcast commercial
It's one of
radio
those
station.
7 deadly words from George Carlin that you're not allowed to say on radio, which is all, but you're allowed to say it on YouTube.
Yeah, and there's a couple of Democrat Obama supporters on this that use every one of the 7 words in about 7 seconds. So we can't show it to you on the air. But you can go to theunitedwest.org. Go there right now. Not if you're driving, no texting and video watching while you're driving. If you're at home,
Unless you're in the back seat.
open another browser. Don't leave the show. You know, got to be a little tricky here. theunitedwest.org. And on our top window, you could actually watch this show on the United West. We're broadcasting on the second window below the top window. On the top window, if you hit little square number 2, video number 2, you can watch the 2-minute video. Why don't you guys paint the picture for our listening audience, what occurred? Then we're gonna get into it because it's very important, and we want you to comment on it. 888-565-1470. That's the call-in number to speak with us, to make a comment, to argue, whatever you want to do. 888-565-1470. Tom, CJ, and the disembodied voice, Mark, and the other guy over there, Mike. You start, Mark, with describe. You saw the video, right?
Yeah, it's a very intellectual video with some very well-known Democrat scholars, and they are all partying in after the election, and they are. I would have to say they're not showing their support for Israel. Would that be correctly stated? That they're not showing their support
Beep
for Israel?
Israel.
What?
Beep, beep, beep.
Well,
Israel.
let's try this. Let's try this.
Israel's going to get beeped.
Okay, let's do this. I got an idea. You just gave me an idea.
Okay.
You guys are the censors, right? You're the censors. I'm going to say the words, okay? You got to censor me, right? Oh, no. All right, it starts out, the video, it says, what's the first couple of words about Israel? No Israel, or the end of Israel? No. What is it? The actual title of the thing.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Goodbye Israel, or get rid of Israel, something like that. But the wonder of this, it's in downtown Chicago, and they're standing out looking at the marquees, talking about Obama, 200, 300, 400, 500 20-somethings, and mixed blacks, whites, greens, a little bit of everything. Black guy comes on, and he's going, Obama, Obama, Obama. Got his hat sideways, glasses, he's excited. And somebody asked him a question
more Israel.
somebody asked him a question about Israel, and he says, no more You got to beat me, guys. Here. He goes, we'll do it again. We'll try it again. No more beep Israel. Okay? And then they go, what? He says, no more beep Israel. So, and then there's these two other gentlemen. It segues to the video does. You have to go see it at theunitedwest.org. And there they have an intellectual discussion.
They're very soft-spoken.
Yes, they are. They're probably part of our friends from the gay community, a black fellow and white fellow. And they're talking about how crude and harsh Israel has been in taking over the land from the Palestinians. And
Yeah.
this is the black fellow.
Which they
saying
took
that.
illegally in the 1940s, and
Yes.
actually it's unfair is what he was
Now,
saying.
you're
and
Jewish.
Now we have to make up for it.
You're Jewish, CJ.
And
What
then
did
his counterpart was,
the Jewish kid?
was the Jewish kid who clearly, was indoctrinated correctly at the universities to dislike and to hate and to repudiate Israel. And his position was the same. And he said, even though,
can actually play it 5 seconds.
go ahead. You can play his, actually, because he's the only one in the video who didn't swear, actually.
You sure?
Yeah.
Get ready in there. Get ready.
Get ready for
Just
the bleep
kidding.
button.
Don't get excited. He's looking, should I be nervous here?
All right, we're going to try to play a little piece of this thing here.
Okay.
No, you can't
No.
play that. No, Mark, take that off. You can't play
What does
that.
that mean to you?
It really mean to me, no more Israel.
All right, okay, you got it. Good
Okay.
job.
Okay,
I stopped
everybody
him
in the
before the bleep-
studio's
the bleep
having a
fest.
beep heart attack.
Yeah, we're all having beep heart attacks here. You can't say that beeping word, right?
Yeah.
But and the two of the later part of the video, it's a short video, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The young Jewish guy goes, "I'm Jewish, but I agree with everything. Israel's
Yeah.
wrong on every point and all of that."
Yeah.
And then they have the wonderful political scholar at the end go, "No, Obama, he's going to be the angel of
The
peace.
angel of diplomacy.
Going to bring Iran in the room, and Israel's going to sit down, and he's going to bring peace to the world." And this.
Well, gee, I wonder why he hasn't done that in 4 years then. Was he just waiting for his second term to get to that?
Well, the importance of this video, and we did not shoot this. We normally do shoot stuff like this on location. We didn't. It's from a group called Rebel Pundit, I believe, rebelpundit.com. They're out of Chicago. This was taped in Chicago. And you really need to see it. The importance of it is that a significant part of the electorate that voted for Obama hates Israel. Now, did we have to play this video to convince anybody, or could we have just replayed the Democrat National Convention?
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody remind me what happened there.
They had that voice vote down on the floor whether to take God, the whole Israel support Israel question, and they took one vote, and it was like all in favor.
What
taking it.
what happened was they took God in Jerusalem out of the Democrat
Right.
platform, and then when they were caught having done so, they decided to try to sneak it back in. And then when they tried to put it back in and put it to a vote, the delegates to the convention booed it.
Yeah, I can actually pull that video.
They booed it. They booed Jerusalem and God going back into the Democrat.
Pull that up.
Well,
Let's.
actually, I have the little clip already pulled up for you for the audio pulled up for the other clip with the two guys talking.
No, we don't need that.
No, we
No,
don't.
go to the
Yeah.
let me get everybody back together here. It's 4:19 in the afternoon, Mike. It's 4:19 on the East Coast, 1:19 in California, and we're going to have our friend call from Israel in a little bit. It's 11:19 over there, but I think we have somebody on the line. Do we have?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have Carol on the
Hi,
line.
Carol. You're
Yeah.
with Tom, CJ,
No,
and Mark.
she's gone.
She's gone. Okay. Well, we can take you now, Carol, if you want to call back.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now is we're talking about the impact of this election as it relates to Jewish people worldwide, and particularly Jewish people in Florida, which helped get the president elected. And our thesis is you're a bunch of idiots, okay, for making a decision based upon that. And it's like, basically, I read a little note here. A fellow said, my Jewish brothers and sisters are becoming like individuals who will pay for the bullet that will be shot at them to kill them. Oh, here's the money for the bullet that you're going to use to kill me. It's suicidal in a great sense to vote for an administration which has proven itself to not be a friend of Israel. We see that in the policies of the president. And don't parrot back to us the fact that, oh, he paid for the Iron Dome. All the stuff that this government has given Israel has been in the system from George Bush's years. You guys like to blame George Bush for the economic problems because he laid the groundwork for that, but you don't give him credit for laying the groundwork legislatively for the military hardware and budget and ancillary material going to Israel, that if Obama did what he wanted to do, stop it, would be offensive to everybody and you'd see his true hand. Then you go to the Democrat National Convention and they take God and Israel out of Jerusalem, out of the platform. Who? Somebody here? Somebody online?
Yeah, we have Alex on the line. He was on earlier this week, and we weren't able to finish our conversation with him.
Okay, let's bring Alex on. We'll get his thoughts, and then we'll continue with what's going on in the Jewish world and the discontinent situation that exists. Hi, Alex. You're on with Tom and CJ and Mark.
Yes, how are you doing today?
We're getting a little upset with the stupidity, absolute stupidity, of a group of people, Jewish people, and I'm a Christian, CJ's a Jewish person, who have tremendous intellect, but sometimes can't see 2 feet in front of themselves when it comes to these great themes of national security.
Yes, but by the way, I see you have a great show. I called on the other day, by the way. I was trying to help my mom with all the list of...
Oh, I remember you. Yes. You are going to apply for U.S. citizenship, which you haven't done yet, but you're going to. And your mom was going to vote for Romney. How's your mom, and how are you feeling these days?
No, everything was okay. I was able to... If anything, it was just all for good because I was able to go inside the Republican office in Broward County, and I got a big list. I connected with some people that I kind of seen some of these people by Broward County, but I got the list. And but anyway, if I'm taking too long, you have a great show. I don't want to interrupt it, but I do work for the public schools, and I I know maybe this was wrong, but I wore the Romney pin the next day. You know, the next day.
Did you get in trouble?
And well, you know what? Nobody. Oh, I hope nobody's listening here. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever. What does it matter? Because if everybody the Obama pin, then I can wear my Romney pin the next day after the elections. And I got like so many comments, and many of the comments were like, oh, you know, we're gonna, you know, the kids, they will say things like, oh, we're gonna jump you, we're gonna. But some of the kids surprised me. They say, oh, you know, and some of the kids, they do understand a lot of these things that are going on, but they're very few. Like, it's amazing how they see what you're wearing, and they're ready to say like really horrible things because they don't understand. So, but basically, one of the things I'm calling about is I like to one day maybe give you my phone number, and I have so many ideas that these 4 years that are coming up, it sounds like it's going to be very difficult to make people understand what you're explaining. Like this conversation that you're having about Israel, it's how can we make all their new websites or songs that maybe we could inform these young, maybe I'm just thinking, like inform these young people about exactly this, so they really understand, because they just, they don't. Maybe it's just that they don't understand. And I think I have some ideas maybe that somebody could help me with. Because I get overwhelmed by thinking about these ideas, but I never work at it with anybody. So.
Okay, Alex, would you be able to send us an email with your ideas and your contact information?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
I think I pull you up through Trentovision, right? I just go
just
through
write to Tom at trentovision.tv.
Okay. I will do it, and I'll contact you. But anyway, I just wanna say that I'm more than willing to help in any way I can, and I will send my
Thank you.
information.
Look forward to
Appreciate
getting
it.
your email. Thanks a lot, Alex.
All right, thank you
Okay,
very
no
much,
problem.
Alex. Appreciate it. And
That's really good. He was a nice guy, helping his mother vote, and
Yep.
she was a little nervous about it and everything. And
for the new people tuning in and listening, Alex called the other day, and we found out he has not gotten his citizenship yet. But we told him he needs to go do that because he's more patriotic than all those
Right.
guys in that freaking Chicago yesterday.
Right,
That's for sure.
right.
But that was very important. This video. We're at the bottom of the hour, and we're on Trento Vision on the video side, WNN 1470 on the radio side. It's very important to connect the activities of the first week in September in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Democrat Party, by design, left Jerusalem and God out of their platform. And then through a bogus voice vote and all of that stuff.
which they had to do 3 times and rigged.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that yet. Where was I?
Bogus voice vote.
Bogus voice vote.
There you go again.
They forced this thing to pass against the voice vote,
Yeah.
and it was written on the teleprompter. Now, the importance
Yeah.
of understanding that at a organizational level, at a leadership level, that needs to be coupled with this video that was recorded yesterday in Chicago at a grassroots level, where you basically have the 20-somethings who hate Israel and want to join together against Israel. And then you had the leadership of the party, and led to a great degree by the Muslims in the party, as evidenced by the Muslims standing up with the Arabs for Obama shirt on. So and based upon our work on national security, we know that the hard left, the leftist Democrats in America, have joined with the Islamic Sharia-compliant Muslims in this unholy alliance against Israel. You've seen it, Jewish friends in South Florida, on this video, and in North Carolina and at Charlotte at the convention. Guess what? You're going to have to live with this. Let's play it one more time just to reinforce the error you made in selecting this president. Now, why is this so important? Listen and watch.
Hearing none, the matter requires a 2/3 vote in the affirmative. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the... all of those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no.
Oh, God, the nose got it.
I guess...
I guess we'll try that again.
I'll do that one more time. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 have voted in the affirmative. The motion
What a total screw
What
job.
a
has
scam.
been amended as shown on the screen.
Okay.
Hey, I tell you, Democrats, let me tell you something. You were robbed by your party leaders.
You were robbed by your party leaders. You're being led astray our Jewish brothers and sisters, and you know us well.
No,
We've been
I'm
here.
talking here to the ones who voted no.
Mhm.
They're the ones in the party
Oh,
who
well,
were
yeah.
robbed
Oh, yeah.
by the people who were in
Exactly.
charge,
Of course.
who discounted their true votes
Yep.
because they were the majority.
They wanted
and they went against their wishes.
They wanted
can't-
Jerusalem out, and they wanted,
and they wanted
God out.
God out.
But let me wrap this up, and we'll get David
Please
on the
do.
line here.
Yes.
The importance of why we're stressing this. Not only has this video that's gone out today gone viral, not only are our inboxes flooded with people that are saying, we're done, we want nothing to do with any of this stuff. But in the days ahead, we just had last week the Iranians fire at an unarmed drone, a U.S. drone, flying over outside in international space. The Iranians fired. And the word just came out today. This is testing this president, obviously. In the days ahead, Israel is going to be front and center on national security issues. And those of you in Florida and around the country know the kind of work we do where we will organize people to stand with Israel because this country is going to be divided. The folks you see in that video and the folks that were voting no for Jerusalem and no for God in the Democrat platform, they're going to be voting no for Israel within a couple of months. And this country is going to be divided. And those of you who made a mistake voting for Obama better wise up. But let's go to Israel right now. And Dave, you're back on the phone. We appreciate it. We know it's late there. We have a controversy going on in South Florida over President Obama as to whether or not he's a friend of Israel. We say no. What say you, Dave?
Well, this is the question that I was asked throughout the presidential campaign, and well, I was saying all along that if Romney wins, as I thought that he should have, then things are going to change a little bit. But all that I know is, as a result of this election, the only thing that we know for sure is what we knew exactly before, which is that President Obama is hostile towards the state of Israel. And for any of your listeners who may doubt that, and I heard you referring to your Jewish brothers and sisters. Well, all that any Jewish person who somehow voted for a Democratic Party that would put Jerusalem and God off their platform, how anybody could vote for such a party and such a president. All they have to do is look at when he first came into office. His first phone call to a foreign leader was to the head of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas. His first two visits overseas were to Cairo, Egypt, and Istanbul, Turkey, where he proclaimed that the call to prayer from the mosques is the prettiest sound on earth. He didn't visit Israel once during his presidency, but he somehow found the time to visit the King of Saudi Arabia and bow down to him. There's something very strange going on here when for 4 years such a person could be president, and then in the election campaign he says, our ties to Israel are rock solid. And then people say, well, that makes sense. They go out and they vote for him. I have to tell you, as one who has been living in Israel, I'm originally from the United States. I'm a dual citizen, but I've been in Israel for over 20 years. I've lived in Israel with my family, and I've sacrificed, and I've been wounded by terrorists along with my 3-year-old son, who was shot in the head, and I've had the privilege of helping terror victim children in Israel through my organization, the Shiloh Israel Children's Fund. I have to tell you that I am absolutely appalled that American Jews would be so ignorant or so non-caring about their brethren in Israel that 70% of them would vote for Obama once again after seeing how hostile he is to Israel. I don't care. Don't tell me that you love Israel but that you love gay marriage more. Don't tell me that you loved Israel, but that abortion, to have total free and funded abortion is more important to you. If you really care about Israel, if you're really pro-Israel, how in the world can anyone vote for this president?
I
Well,
agree. I agree because
no
no, I
argument.
had this conversation with
1,000 people, right?
with a lot of
I
people,
have
some of whom I'm related to, and that's what I've said is you can't tell me that Israel matters to you if you're voting
Yeah,
the way
the-
that you know that you're going to vote. That just says to me other things such as some of them that you mentioned, David, are more important to you, and Israel is down on the list. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that you're for Israel and you're for Obama. Because if you're for Obama, you are not for Israel. Period.
Their
if
true
I- if I
religion
could just
is
point out to
Democrat.
you, that this isn't just David Rubin who wrote the Islamic Tsunami talking. This is also Israelis in general. And there were polls taken where they showed that 80% of Israelis believe that Romney is the better candidate, and well over 80%, and in some cases 90 to 95%, do not believe that President Obama has been a pro-Israel president. So, for me, it just boggles the mind that American Jews are so disconnected from their roots that they could vote for such an anti-Israel president.
Any suggestions for re-educating some of these people, David? What's the hope here?
I'm doing my best.
What's the hope here?
I'm always speaking in America and in the media, and I try to reach Jews as much as I possibly can. Unfortunately, it's the Christians that want to hear this message
Yeah.
more.
Exactly.
But I try whatever I can. I'm working on another book, which is about the peace process, which should be coming out sometime early in 2013.
Do we
And
have your
I think
email
it's important-
address, David?
What's that?
Do we have your email address?
Well, I could speak to your engineer afterwards, and I'd be happy to provide that information.
Okay. And
but-
you know Tom's email is tom@trentovision.tv. If you could drop us an email and include your contact information so we can, have
in
have
touch,
your
yeah.
the graphic of your website and stay in touch
Well,
with what you're doing.
we actually have his book up. We're putting it up, The
Are we putting it
Islamic
up now?
Tsunami, Israel and America in the Age of Obama. I don't have that book. What's the...
How come we don't have that book?
Give us a short explanation of why you wrote it and what the thesis is.
Okay, well, this is a book that I wrote, and as I mentioned, I've been living in Israel over 20 years, and every American citizen who moves to Israel has the privilege of being a dual citizen. And I didn't renounce my American citizenship, and in fact, I didn't leave America. I moved to Israel.
Right.
If you can catch my point there.
Mm-hmm.
I still love the United States. I still consider myself to be an American patriot. But obviously I'm in Israel. And I live here and I sacrifice for this country. So what happened in 2008 when President Obama started running for president, and I read up about him, and I realized that this is something different, something had fundamentally changed. Here is somebody who was so disconnected from America's Judeo-Christian heritage, and I said, I've got to do something about this. I started reading up about, not just about him, but about the United States, and I realized that the United States is a country that's built on biblical foundations that I had never learned about in any great depth. Well, by the time I finished this book, I knew a whole lot about it, and I learned that President Obama typifies the collusion between the Islamic ideologues that are trying to destroy Judeo-Christian civilization and the secular left that is also trying to fundamentally change America and steer it away from its roots. And that explains that strange collusion between those two forces, the far secular left and the Islamic ideologues, that are bringing down the United States and trying to destroy Israel at the same time. And that's how we explain the attacks on the embassies, in the American embassies in the Middle East. That's how we explain the Arab Spring, which was supposed to be such a wonderful thing, and President Obama's sort of vacillating, non-committal response to it, but while quietly supporting the Muslim Brotherhood. It's a very troubling thing, and the Islamic tsunami, Israel and America in the age of Obama, which came out right before the Arab Spring broke out, it speaks about that problem of this vacuum that's been created by the far secular left in American society and the Islamic ideologues that are coming in to fill that vacuum.
David?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, David, unfortunately, I know from my analysis now, the only way that you're going to have to shift the vote over to, in support of Israel is if Israel actually gets a nuclear, God forbid, they actually get hit by a nuclear weapon or a nuclear type device. Is that your assessment right now? That's the only thing that's going to shift the mindset at this point?
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it might be the only thing that might shift the mindset in the Jewish community in America, and it might be the only thing that'll shift the mindset in the Democratic Party that has been moving away from Israel for years. But look, the Republican Party, the more conservative Americans have been moving in Israel's direction in recent years, and have been developing strong ties with Israel, and I think that's a wonderful trend. But those same conservatives have to be concentrating on educating their children, because in my visits to the churches in America, I see that the parents are very pro-Israel, and the parents have strong conservative values, but in many cases they're not succeeding in passing it along to their children. And I think a lot of attention has to be paid to that in the coming years.
Yeah, we saw that in this 2-minute video that that we referenced earlier. The son of Jewish people who sides with the Palestinians.
Yeah, David, we're going to have you back for sure. I'm so glad. How did you? Somebody wrote you an email and told you to contact us today. Is that what happened?
Well, it was actually my publicist who generally books shows for me, and he happened to be listening to your show on the internet, and he just sent me a quick email. He said please call in.
Well, we're glad you did, and we want to have you back definitely to discuss some of this stuff in detail.
Yes,
I want to get my hands on your book. We need to go through his book a little bit too to take a look at that, because you've hit the nail on the head, and you do make trips to the States, right? You said.
Yeah, I just came back a couple of weeks ago. I was out in Colorado actually. I know you have a connection to that state.
Yes, and we have a lot of friends out there. So if we stay in touch, when you're back here, we can help set up, book events or speaking events or whatever. And a group of us were over there back in February. We went over on an intelligence trip to look at the capabilities of the Israeli IDF, the border police, and the national police to deal with suicide bombers. And it was a fascinating 10-day look behind the scenes. And we hope to do it again. Either it won't be the end of this year, probably be the beginning of next year. What part of Israel are you in?
I'm out in Shiloh.
Okay.
Okay,
Well-
we call it in Israel. We call it Shiloh.
Shiloh, okay.
Most Americans would know it as Shiloh. It's the
Is
first
it north or
capital of
south?
ancient Israel.
Can you
The
for
place
those
where the
unfamiliar with the state of
tabernacle
Israel?
stood for 369 years, and we're located in Samaria, which is the northern part of the West Bank.
And for, however, I guess it's Israeli technology. No, those are the bad guys. Those guys. Yeah. I guess it's Israeli technology, but we were talking to one of our colleagues dealing with Allen West in Palm Beach County, a few miles from here, and we couldn't even understand what he was saying on the phone, and we have you on the line 7,000 miles away, and the signal is absolutely perfect. What do you make out of that? That's amazing. Let me tell
That's
you.
good.
Well, because they make better equipment.
It
over in
certainly
Israel.
makes it easier to speak to people.
Yeah, yes, yes,
It's an
yes.
American phone, and even though I'm sitting right here at my desk in the heart of the West Bank, isn't that something?
Oh,
really
man.
is.
Well, be
Please
careful.
send us an email so
Thank
we
you so
can
much
get
for
in
calling.
touch with
We
you.
appreciate you calling in.
Yes, thanks a lot. And it's Tom at TrentoVision.tv.
And thank your publicist for us, too.
Yes, thank your publicist. And we'll get our hands on a copy of the book, and we'll have you back on to go through the book. How about that?
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you
David
very much.
Rubin.
Be safe.
The title again, you have the title of the book?
The Islamic Tsunami.
Islamic Tsunami, the Arab Spring, Obama, all of those issues are
Yeah.
woven together. Thank you very
America
much, David
and
Rubin.
Israel in the age of Obama.
America and Israel, age of Obama.
Yeah.
All right, folks, it's 46 after the hour, 4:46 here in South Florida, where it's always 76 degrees, no matter what.
No, it's 75.
It's
I told you
75,
it gets
yeah.
colder as the day goes
But it wasn't
on.
going to be funny if I said it's 75. I had to say 76, but that's okay.
Okay.
You blew it.
I
you.
blew it.
But it is cooler in here. You
No,
know,
it is,
My
yeah.
feet are cold.
Yeah, my nose is getting cold.
And outside it is 30 degrees. So, but the sun is shining, and all of you snowbirds are going to be coming down soon. The first hour on our afternoon after the morning after. That's the title for today's 3 episodes. The afternoon after the morning after. The first one was, hey, Florida, what's going on? Florida hasn't been able to decide if it likes Obama or if it likes Romney. Obama, Romney, Obama, Romney, Rambama, Obama, whatever. And then we went into a little more detail to see what's going on with Congressman Allen West, who was considered a potential presidential, vice presidential candidate. I'm sure he was evaluated on the vice presidential level. And certainly possibility in a leadership position, maybe a cabinet position or a serious leadership position in the military end of things in the Romney administration, we all thought. Well, he may not even win because right now there's all types of claims of voter fraud and irregularities. So we had a man on the ground there, David DiCrescenzo, Patriots Press online publication. Go see Dave's publications, good stuff. And the second hour, we wanted to take a look at this red hot video going around that you can see. We can't play it for you because it's got too many swear words in it. Yeah, too many beep words. You beep beep beep. Yeah, all the beep words. So you can see that the United West. That's our
You're scaring Blake.
sister organization. You can go there, theunitedwest.org, and you can play it to your heart's content and turn up the volume. Well, it's so offensive, not in its use of street language, though that does embellish the message. But the message is that the hard left, the university student, and we've seen this on the college
We've been
campuses.
reporting this for years, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been. This is no surprise that the youth vote is they're being
The thing
indoctrinated. They're being indoctrinated by the MSA and the
Muslim Student Association.
and the liberal left on college campus.
Look, here's the point. On the eve of the election, when they're outside in the streets celebrating, what's the first thing that pops into their minds now that Obama has been
Oh,
reelected?
let's get rid of Israel.
The first thing that pops into their
bizarre is
minds
that?
is good. We'll get rid of Israel.
And these are the children.
And these are the people who go out on election night to be with their friends and to see the polls coming in.
I tell you
These
what,
are the activists of the Democrat Party.
I honestly think there's going to be nothing less than a nuclear attack on Israel that's going to shift this mindset out of the Jewish community. I mean, the ignorance inside that community is just horrific beyond means, and unfortunately,
Well, that's a non-starter because Israel can't absorb too many atomic weapons.
no, I'm
That's
just
for
saying.
sure.
That's my point. It's
Yeah,
too late.
I know,
It's
I
too
know,
late
I
by
know,
that
I know.
point.
Listen to this. This was written a couple of years ago, but it's making the rounds now around the internet.
Okay.
And it was written in Czechoslovakia. It was written at an editorial in Czechoslovakia a year or two ago, and that's an interesting place. From a fascist control to now a democratic lifestyle. You'd think they'd have some sort of sense of what socialism is all about. Well, this Czech newspaper, Prager Zitugon, that's the name of the paper, wrote regarding President Obama a couple of years ago.
All that means is Prague newspaper.
Prague newspaper,
Yeah,
okay.
if you just say that.
I will read the quote for you.
Okay.
They said, "The danger to America is not Barack Obama, but a citizenry capable of entrusting a man like him with the presidency. The problem, therefore, is much deeper and far more serious than Mr. Obama, who is a mere symptom of what ails America." This is a Czechoslovakian newspaper. "Blaming the Prince of Fools should not blind anyone to the vast confederacy of fools that made him their prince." I have to read that sentence again.
Yeah.
That's
I like
excellent.
that.
That's really excellent.
Blaming the Prince of Fools should not, never, no time, editorial comment,
Yeah, I was going to say you embellished there, didn't
blind anyone to the vast confederacy. I'm looking at that video in my mind. The vast confederacy of fools that made Obama their prince. Hello, our Jewish brothers and sisters in South Florida. And I'll take some credit, too, for the leftist Christian community that has failed Christianity tremendously, particularly on the issue of
you?
Israel.
And how about the non-leftist Christian community who stayed
home.
and said, to heck with America, and to
Unacceptable.
heck with Israel, and to heck with what you're all doing.
We will target those cats in the future. The Republic can survive a Barack Obama, who is, after all, merely a fool. It is less likely to survive a multitude of fools, such as those who made him their president. That is such an efficient use of words that I'd like Carol to comment if you heard my last reading of the Czech editorial comment. Hi, Carol. You're with Tom and
Hey,
CJ.
Tom.
How you doing?
Good. It's Carol Glanz from San Diego, Bevy's friend.
Everybody
Who else
else,
is in the
we're
house
out of
right
here.
now?
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in to Trento Vision, where bad ideas get pulverized and the truth will set you free. Tom Trento can be reached at 561-319-5533 or tom at trentovision.tv. And tune in again weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
This is Steve Kane, and for some time now I've become concerned that my memory is not what it used to be. Now I know that a degree of memory loss is a natural part of the aging process, but as my lapses became more frequent, I began to worry maybe this was something more serious, like Alzheimer's. As my anxiety began to increase, I did a little research and found Lifespan Health Services in Boca, where they offer complete memory testing, which is covered by Medicare. That would answer the questions that had been causing me so much stress. I went through the testing. The results showed I was not developing Alzheimer's. My diagnosis? Sleep apnea. Easily treatable, and what a relief. Call Lifespan Health Services today at 561 area code 969-0102. That's 561-969-0102. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The people who care at Economy Lawn Landscape in Pompano Beach would like to take this special time out to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform who are standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the globe. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and letters from home. From Economy Lawn Landscape in Pompano Beach, serving our area with complete landscaping service. For both residential and commercial work, call 754-235-0161. That's 754-235-0161 for Economy Lawn Landscape. 2135 Northeast 57th Street, Pompano Beach.
AM 1470 with even more information you can use. Are you suffering with chronic pain? Tune in for No Bones About It with Dr. Alvin Stein. You'll learn non-invasive techniques that can help you get rid of your pain without the use of harmful drugs or surgery. That's No Bones About It with Dr. Alvin Stein. Tuesday mornings at 11, right here on AM 1470 WNN, South Florida's Health and Wealth Network.
This is Health and Wealth Radio, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, and WKIS HD3, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
From America's Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. A nor'easter that hit the New York area yesterday, getting in the way of recovery efforts from Superstorm Sandy, has now moved on after leaving hundreds of thousands of additional people in darkness. Some parts of Connecticut and New Jersey got a foot or more of snow. Meanwhile, FEMA is bringing manufactured housing to the hardest hit areas in New York and New Jersey for people left homeless by Sandy. AP correspondent David Melendi has more.
It'll be like the FEMA trailers used after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, according to FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate.
Yeah, mobile homes, many people call them, but I guess the correct term is manufactured housing.
Asked if they'll be free of formaldehyde, a problem after Katrina, Fugate said only that they'll meet HUD standards.
Those standards used to approve loans for VA and HUD for buying manufactured housing.
The agency is starting to move some of the manufactured housing units to unspecified areas, and Fugate says more will be ordered if the demand requires.
Beth Josephs of Morganville, New Jersey, says she's pretty much had it with storms this year.
What the heck? Like the Mayans said, the calendar's coming to an end. I really feel like the calendar's coming to an end. I've had enough. So I'm sort of hoping like last year's Halloween snow, maybe we don't have snow again.
More than 750,000 homes and businesses, mostly in New York and New Jersey, are still in the dark. Jared Loughner is facing life in prison with no chance for parole. He was sentenced today for killing 6 people and wounding many more, including then Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. AP's Chris Havlick reports.
The man who pleaded guilty to a deadly Arizona shooting rampage watched and listened as victims spoke, showing little emotion or reaction. Giffords walked to the podium with her husband, former astronaut Mark Kelly, who spoke for her. He said Loughner changed his wife's life forever. He said every day is a constant struggle for her. Giffords and Kelly faced Loughner separated by about 20 feet. Loughner's mother was crying throughout the court hearing. Chris Havlick, Phoenix.
Journalism without agenda. This is America's Radio News.
Is it time for you to own your own business? Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care, is assigning franchises with protected territories across America at an affordable cost. Visiting Angels franchises send experienced caregivers to non-medical home care to thousands of adults nationwide, so they won't have to move into a nursing home. Call Visiting Angels toll-free at 877-374-LIVE. Look us up on the web at www.livingassistance.com. You'll receive initial training and years of ongoing guidance, including teleconference training workshops. Thousands of home care client leads are distributed to franchisees each month from national advertising on the internet and radio. Speak to our 300 franchisees to learn how this senior home care franchise has changed their lives. Call Visiting Angels toll-free at 877-374-LIVE. Look us up.
Trade deficit declined to the lowest level in almost 2 years. Stuart Hoffman, chief economist at PNC Financial, explains why.
We saw a narrowing in our international trade deficit by almost $2 billion in the month of September, and it was because our exports went up.
Exports climbed 3.1% to an all-time high of $187 billion, reflecting stronger sales of commercial aircraft, heavy machinery, and farm goods. Market analyst David Buick says the Eurozone shows little sign of recovering in spite of a greater confidence in that region's financial markets.
The data that we've seen in the last few days from the likes of even France, Spain and Italy looks truly awful. And as we head towards Christmas, I cannot see any possibility of growth improving at all. In fact, it wouldn't come as any surprise to me if the entire European Union, including Germany, were very close to being in recession.
Signs that the U.S. job market is slowly improving help push the dollar higher against most aircraft a week ago, and what a spokesman said was international airspace over the Persian Gulf. Officials say the drone was not hit. The spokesman says the drone aircraft was performing routine surveillance and was about 16 miles off the Iranian coast at the time. While the Drug Enforcement Administration figures out how to deal with legalized marijuana in 2 states, business people are giving it some thought too. AP correspondent Matt Small reports.
Marijuana's legalization in Colorado and Washington state could lead to big profits for people in the pot business. But entrepreneurs have plenty of questions about this week's votes. The National Marijuana Business Conference opens in Denver today, less than 48 hours after voters approve the recreational use of weed. The meeting's supposed to sort out just what the ballot measures mean.